I'm not proud of seeing. And I hope that doesn't mean I won't try and it will be harder for me.
This is one of Ireland's most famous sons.
It's like some things happen in life for a lifetime.
Over the past 4 decades, he has provoked more emotional reaction than almost anyone else alive on the island. Fear.
We fight on behalf of the people. We fight because the people want us to fight.
Hatred. Adulation.
It's from my heart and it's the truth. I hope it makes you proud.
He's lived a nomadic underground existence.
That's why I'm gonna stand my ground as long as I'm alive.
On the run, always on the move.
Even though they're trying, and nobody's gonna hurt you.
Some say he was responsible for some of our most terrible events. He's been jailed, banned, and there have been numerous attempts on his life.
It's a patriotic duty of Irish men and Irish women to engage in that legitimate armed struggle.
He's the architect behind the rise of Sinn Féin over the past 30 years. And he's credited with moving the IRA to peace, helping solve one of the world's most intractable disputes. And that has turned him into a global figure.
Not been restored today.
At home, his journey has brought him into contact with his former enemies as never before. So what have they learnt? And what do we know about the real Gerry Adams? New York City, and the former United States President, Bill Clinton, is bringing the great and the good under one roof to work together for global peace and prosperity. Among them, invited to the top table, is Gerry Adams.
To all of you, thank you for your vision, for your engagement, for your stick-to-itness. As hard as it may be to sustain during these difficult times, your commitments have never been more needed. They have never been more inspiring.
No longer a pariah, politically, Gerry Adams is now a global superstar, part of an illustrious set.
Smart and sensitive and attractive and very charming. And I think he said he liked my music, my films. But no, I really enjoyed talking to him about also not just politics, but, you know, human things, which is how you get to know somebody, really. Really respect him because he's a man with deeply held beliefs that had the courage to reach for peace during a time of great struggle.
It was a very good session on women and girls last night.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really. A very gloomy international situation for all of our begrudgery and all of our insularity and all of our still, you know, nagging at each other as a people. We are a success story. So that's how the likes of me meets and bumps into now. Barbara Streisand, I admire her singing, and she's a beautiful singer. But she's still a very, very ordinary person.
God bless. Okay. Take care. Take care, Jim.
Gerry Adams first visited New York City in the early 90s. Before that, he was banned from entering the United States. Back then, he was every bit as controversial here as he was at home. But back in the early days of the peace process, it was America which first recognized his moves towards peace.
I'd worked on Northern Ireland when I was at the British Embassy in Washington. It'd been one of the subjects I had to deal with. And we had very clear instructions that we were to stop him getting a visa to visit the US. We worked extremely hard on all the different bits of the American administration. We thought we'd won. We had on side the State Department, we had the CIA, we had the Justice Department, the FBI, had the whole of Washington establishment against that visa. And we're convinced we'd won.
It became clear to me that there was, in fact, something happening within the IRA and that Gerry Adams was, in fact, trying to move things in the right direction. And John Hume and others started coming to me saying, you know, something's moving here. It's time to pay attention.
I was in a particular place. My wife, you know, was just recently killed. My father-in-law, my little daughter was growing up without her mother. And then all of a sudden, you know, you have the ban on Sinn Féin lifted. All of a sudden, you know, it's as if it's okay, all this killing, all this bloodshed, all this heartache. All of a sudden, these guys are now the good guys, and they're being taken out to America, and they're going coast to coast, and they're on Larry King Live, and, you know, they're being treated like celebrities, whereas my life had been blown apart. We decided that we would just go out and try to really take the gloss off that campaign. So we kind of thought, well, look, if Gerry Adams is going to do these big, you know, £1,000 fundraiser or $1,000 fundraiser, whatever it is, we could stand outside with our placards.
Take back the city for yourself tonight. I'll take back the city for me.
How are you, my friend? Bless you. Gerry, how are you? Come in.
Nowadays, he's welcomed to New York with open arms. And even among the political and A-list celebrities, only a select few can command the access granted to Gerry Adams.
Please sit. You're in the...
I love this place enough to have no doubt. Whoa, whoa. It's a mess. It's a start. It's a flawed work of art. Your city, your call, every crack, every wall.
Well, he's a freedom fighter who has fought to reconcile his country, family to family, region to region. And now there's a growth pattern there because he took the risk. And just as Dr. King did it here, Cesar Chavez, Mandela in South Africa, Gerry is held in high esteem around the world. Jesus was seen as disturbing the peace and challenging the Roman government. Dr. King was killed at age 39. Mandela was jailed for 27 years, seen as a terrorist. But that's just labeling. That's not accurate. It's not fair. But Gerry's been fortunate enough to outlive many of those labels. That's the good news. He has scars in his body from his struggles, but sometimes you get your stars from your scars.
You can say till you drop, 'cause the fun just never stops.
I generally find that I go away from events like this enriched by the process of having been here. And how that fits into what I do is another matter entirely, but at a personal and intellectual level. I suppose to a certain degree at an emotional level, I'm a wee bit reinvigorated by it all.
The person elected to serve as a member for the said constituency is Gerry Adams.
Adams, Gerry.
Sinn Féin.
16,862.
Is there ever any likelihood that you would even consider taking your seat in Westminster?
I think Guy Fawkes had the right attitude to Westminster.
Gerry Adams.
Gerry Adams has won the West Belfast seat in every election bar one since 1983.